Good morning.
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Bonjour. Come on. It's an exciting day. I need to feel more energy. Let's give it up. That's right. Today is a very special day. And before I get started, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Johanny Cepeda-Freytiz. I'm state representative for the 129th Legislative District, which covers parts of the city of Reading, parts of Spring Township, all of West Reading, all of Wyomissing, and all of Sinking Spring, which means I have 3 school districts: Reading, Wilson, and Wyomissing. So I just wanted to put that out there before I continue. So I am beyond elated to be here today. Super excited because today we are celebrating a major win for our community. Yes, let's hear it. We're celebrating real wins for real people right here. And you see, a year ago, I recall the House Democratic majority, my colleagues and I, were actually right here. We stood right here rallying for adequate and equitable funding for all of our public school. And this year, our House Democratic majority got it done. Let's clap it up, right? We passed a budget that invests massive, historic money, a $1.3 billion investment that helps every student in every school across the Commonwealth. And that finally, a budget that finally meets our moral, constitutional, and legal obligation to our students, schools, parents, and taxpayers. And it does it all without a tax increase. And for the Reading School District, which has been historically underfunded, that means a record-breaking $41.2 million investment. That's right. Dr. Murray, we got right? We got it. I know there's still more. It's not enough, but it's a great start. And in this budget, excuse me, bear with me and my papers that are flying, which is why we're here celebrating today. This budget, in this budget's fiscal note, is included the non-U.S. citizen teacher certification. The non-U.S. citizen teacher certification was incorporated into the public school code. Why? Because we have a House majority, a House Democratic majority, who understood the needs of our community, who wanted to address the teacher shortage, right? So yes, let's clap it up for my colleagues because we made it happen. And for those that are unaware, in the section of the public school code, it includes the words or the statement authorized to work in the United States to the teacher qualifications and allows a certificate to teach to be issued to individuals authorized to work in the United States. This wasn't an easy task. In my first year in office as a new term legislator, I had an urgency to do something about the teacher shortage. Education means the world because investing in our children is a priority. I learned that here in Pennsylvania, for a teacher to obtain certification to teach, they must have a U.S. citizen. I found this to be absurd. It just didn't make sense. We have a growing problem with teacher shortage, and yet a solution was literally at our fingertips. Our champion, Senator Schwank, introduced this legislation about 3 times. See, this fight has started long before I got to the House. I believe it began in 2018 with our DACA students and our dreamers, right, that found an obstacle when trying to become certified as teachers. And throughout the years, or throughout the different sessions that Senator tried to introduce it, it just died in the Senate. However, this year, my first term, in my first year, and my first House Bill 1067 passed in the House of Representatives. So it was a great win, a great start to my first term as a freshman legislator, right? And I was incredibly honored to have partnered with Senator Schwank, who explained to me her bill, and she quickly worked with me, and that's how I created or generated the companion bill to Senate Bill 393, I think it was, 393. And for me, obviously, this bill was the most common sense, the most cost-effective way to help address the teacher shortage. So while we managed to get it done in the House, because we're House Democratic majority, I knew that we had more work to do because it wasn't going to go anywhere in the Senate. And so I remember also a year ago, maybe over a year ago, where we rallied, right? So we've been rallying ever since the bill passed in the House. And I remember over a year ago, we were in front of Lowers Park. I think a lot of you were there, and we were talking about the bill and the importance of the bill. We heard directly from some of our Dreamer students and our DACA students, you know, that the struggles and obstacles to be able to be in a classroom to teach our kids. We urged the Senate Republican leaders to pass the bill to no avail. We also urge our community to get involved. I know that in my office, anytime I've been at events and activities where I'm in front of folks, we're always walking around with copies of the bill and with a contact list for all of the Republican senators so that everyone can get aboard, calling, emailing, and visiting to urge the passage out of the House. Passage out of the Senate. And here we are today. We got it done, Senator. We did it. After, what, 6 years? We made it happen. We are breaking down barriers because we still have more work to do, but we're opening more doors and creating more pathways for members of our community to become certified teachers. We're fostering more diversity, equity, and inclusion in our schools and in our classrooms. We're keeping teachers here and not losing them to other states. We are also boosting our local economy and generating more win-win opportunities for everyone in our Commonwealth. As my dad would always tell me, when there's a will, there's a way. Querer es poder. We got it done. We did it. And on that note, right, and I feel like the energy is kind of low. Like, guys, this is like huge. I need to feel you like jump up and down, scream, yell, sí se pudo, sí se pudo. And you know, I want to say, I'm not trying to get political, but when Democrats get in, we all win. So I just want to make sure I highlight that because we made it happen for the first time in a very long time. And on that note, I want to introduce, right, because it's my honor and privilege to introduce one of our very own, our former Reading School District Superintendent and our current Secretary of Education, Dr. Khalid Mumin. Such an honor. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Woo, the heat.
Yeah, it's hot up here. You know, I'm going to start sweating immediately. So good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. This is so exciting today. This is a momentous occasion, and Representative Cepeda-Freytiz gave some history. And I'm having nostalgic moments today because I remember back in 2016 when Senator Schwank approached me in regards to a young lady that we had speaking at one of our graduations. And she told the story of how she was going off to Kutztown University. She wanted to become a teacher, but she was concerned that she would not be able to earn certification. I still remember that day, Senator Schwank. You came down to the office, and this is when you get a great example of how good government works. Senator Schwank didn't come with a binder of information. She came with like one piece of paper. It was slightly crumbled. And she said, what do we have to do to fix this? What do we have to do to fix this? And we're sitting there and we're like, this young lady has played by all of the rules. But then we get to the point where, one, we have a teacher shortage, and two, we simply can't certify candidates who we've seen from pre-K to 12th grade off the Kutztown right down the road and come back and want to serve the very students that she was. Something was wrong with that. Senator Schwank took on that bill, and it was heartbreaking. Every year it was shattered. Every year, up to the last minute, up to the wire, and we kept getting closer and closer and closer. And I'm so happy to say that we have arrived. So Senator Schwank, congratulations. Representative Cepeda-Freytiz, congratulations. This is a momentous moment. Now, as we know, across the nation and here in Pennsylvania, we have been facing a critical educator shortage. the Shapiro administration and our partners in the General Assembly have been working hard to identify ways to bolster and expand our teacher certification pipeline here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And initiatives like these play a critical role in the work that we do every day. Not only does it allow new teachers to enter the classroom, it helps increase educator diversity, something that is severely lacking, even in a district like the Reading School District, where more than 80% of the students are Latino. If you want to get up into the 90%, you can say Latino and African American. One thing that is constant is that 99% of these students are underserved. We don't have proper representation in our classrooms. It is so powerful when students have the opportunity to learn from educators that look like them, that come from where they come from, and they're able to tell the stories of success to be able to encourage our learners to strive for great success. And importantly, it gives prospective U.S. residents an opportunity to pursue the American dream. I want to thank Senator Schwank, Representative Cepeda-Freytiz, and Chairman Schweier for their leadership on this issue. I want to support the future tenacity of our educators. There should be a VIP line for our young people who choose to stay at home and deliver instruction, high quality instruction and pedagogy to students that look like them and came from where they came from. And I want to continue to inspire young people to dream big and never, ever give up on pursuit of your goals. See, this type of energy that we have here, when we have the young people aligned and on focus and want to come back and get into our classrooms, we're able to create synergy that is sustainable, and why not the Reading School District? I'll close on this because, again, we're talking about when good government works, and we talk about the historic increases in the basic education funding formula. Back in the day, in 2014, that was the first time we ever had a formula in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We worked with Senator Schwank and worked with our legislators, and guess what? We were allowed in the room during a historic budget impasse. And Governor Wolf went down to 10th and Green and launched that formula. Back then, we were talking $350 million, which provided $11 million of new money for the Reading School District. Today, as we talk about this, we went from $350 to last year $567 million new dollars to this year $1.1 billion new dollars in the formula. So your advocacy helps, your advocacy works, and continue to lean on your legislators so we can get things done here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you so much. And it is my pleasure to introduce Andrea Geronimo to the microphone. Bring her to the microphone. Oh, there she is, right in front of me.
Hello. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna struggle with this a bit. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope everyone is as excited as me to be here today. I even made sure to have my hands extra clean. Why, you may ask? Because every day I have to clean the dirt on my hands from cutting mushrooms. It's not exactly what I envisioned doing at this point in my life, but dreams all start somewhere. 7 years ago, when I walked up these very steps, I walked with fear because I never thought I could pursue a higher education due to my status. I was quiet and never let anyone know I was undocumented. I was afraid of any repercussions to me or my family. I never told any teachers because I knew they wouldn't understand. Years passed, I graduated high school, but I still left with that same fear of my future. I managed to receive higher education with the endless support of my family. And throughout my 4 years at Kutztown University, I turned my fear into motivation with the encouragement of peers and professors. I found my voice to share my story because I realized I was not alone in this battle and that there were people close to me going through the same struggle. Now I stand here on these same steps and can say I'm no longer afraid. They say that there's always light at the end of a tunnel, and I think we can all attest to that. We're all here to celebrate that light, which is non-U.S. citizen individuals being able to receive their certification. I would have never thought that I'd be celebrating this right here, right now. Thanks to everyone who worked hard to make this possible, like Senator Schwank, and everyone else que puso su granito de arena. There will soon be great teachers in classrooms that should have never gotten held back from their dreams. Thanks to everyone who shared their voice and took their time to advocate, children will be able to learn from someone who may look a little like them or have the same experiences as them. This may inspire them to follow their own path to success. I assure you right now that there are children and parents who are undocumented that need that guidance from someone who understands their struggle for this upcoming school year. I hope to soon be in a classroom, fulfilling my dreams, nurturing children's creativity and knowledge, and advocating for them in any way I possibly can. Thanks to everyone who is here supporting this, I have a chance to decorate my own classroom sooner than expected. I will soon be cleaning paint and marker off my hands and not dirt. Thank you. Thank you. And with great pleasure, I introduce Jasmine Rivera, the Executive Director of Pennsylvania Immigration and Citizenship Coalition. Thank you. Easy.
Wow. That's why we do it, right? That's why all of us does this work. Forgive me if I go a little fast to talk, so I'm going to try to be quick. But I also have some fun factoids that I want to share with everyone because I'm that person. Not a teacher, but it's in there. Good morning. My name is Jasmine Rivera. As you heard, I'm the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Immigration and Citizenship Coalition. PIC, as we also go by, is a statewide coalition of over 60 immigrant rights organizations working across 26 counties across the state. I want to shout out 2 of our members. Member organizations are here today, Make the Road Pennsylvania and GRIP. They do amazing work. I am so excited to be able to celebrate. We don't often get to celebrate momentous victories like this for the immigrant community, and so this is the news that we need, and this is the news that we're going to keep on getting because we're going to keep on winning, right? Yeah. We're going to keep on improving the Commonwealth and keep on making this a welcoming state. This is going to open up so many opportunities to immigrant teachers. The first person I reached out to when I heard this news was a former member of mine who spent years getting her education, first at a community college, then at a 4-year institute, and is now teaching, but is very limited in her job opportunities. First person I messaged was, guess what? With this legislation, the world's your oyster. This is going to open up so many more opportunities for my friend, and it's going to open up so many opportunities for people across the state. Opportunities that are going to equal more teachers in our school districts, and our schools deserve more teachers. Our schools deserve teachers who have gone through these experiences and can guide the next generation of leaders in our states. So I want to thank the representative. I want to thank the senator for all of your hard work. This is amazing. I want to thank all of the PIC members who have worked on this for years, and most importantly, I want to thank the community leaders who fought for their rights and fought for this to become the reality of our state. So I'm going to share a little bit about Pennsylvania and why this is so critical. Right here in Pennsylvania, there are 1 million immigrant state residents. 1 million strong. Folks from all over the world. The immigrant community is so powerful in so many ways. I want to share some of those factoids. And the first factoid is immigrants pay billions in taxes annually. Just in 2021 alone, they paid $11.5 billion. Immigration is a key driver of population growth in Pennsylvania. The reality is, if it wasn't for immigration, PA would rank lower in its current ranking on 4th place when it comes to population decline. In 2023 alone, just in the calendar year of 2023, immigrants made up over 25,000 new residents in the state. Meanwhile, the natural birth rate in Pennsylvania was negative 11,000, right? Things are shifting. Immigrants are small business owners, they're doctors, they're naturalized citizens, they are students, they are teachers, right? And teachers in our public school districts. After today, nearly 5,500 individuals with DACA in Pennsylvania will have an opportunity to fill the 5,000 teacher vacancy. We are short 5,000 teachers in our school districts. This opens the door to fill those vacancies, and that's what our children deserve. As of the fiscal year 2022-2023, there was 87,000 English learners. We heard a little bit about the importance of representation. 87,000 English learner students in our school districts. The impact of having immigrant teachers is going to be so huge and so critical for these learners, right? We need to see ourselves represented as role models in front of us, not just on the TV screen, but in the classrooms as well. So this legislation is coming at a critical time for our school districts, and the good news, we can do more. We can do more to make this state a welcoming state. Now is the time to pass tuition equity, right? Now is the time to break down barriers and make sure that undocumented youth can continue their education, their higher education, so they can continue to be residents here in our state and contribute to our society. Everyone deserves access to education. So I am so excited, so thrilled to be able to celebrate and cheer and be surrounded by amazing leaders. And I cannot wait for when we come back together and celebrate more. Thank you. I now want to introduce Nancy Moroshat.
Let dreamers teach. All right. All right, well, today we are gathered to celebrate a significant milestone in pursuing a more inclusive education system. I am honored to have the opportunity to express my deep gratitude to everyone who supported this transformative bill. This legislation is not just a policy change, but a powerful statement of our community's commitment to embracing the talents and perspectives that immigrants bring to our state. We are supporting the enrichment of the educational experience by allowing qualified immigrants to contribute their strengths, knowledge, and skills. To the advocates, lawmakers, and community leaders who stood behind this cause, thank you. Your dedication and hard work have made it possible to turn this American dream into reality. few years ago, when I tried to apply for my certification to teach and encountered this roadblock, my voice was heard by Senator Judy Schwank. Years later, I can see that my voice matters. I am excited for the future teachers who no longer have to be stopped by this roadblock and can focus on building and inspiring our young leaders. As an educator, I see the value of opening doors for my students to help them see the possibilities, dream big, aspire to learn, and contribute to our community. What is instilled in the classroom can now be seen as we stand here today and celebrate with an open heart, an opened door. Thank you. I am happy to get to introduce our next speaker, the woman who made the door open, Senator Judy Schwank.
I said to Nancy, now she's a teacher, I'm waiting for her to be the principal, the superintendent. She's on her way, and so many more of our dreamers are going to be able to take that path as well. And I'm so excited about it. I want to start by saying everything's been explained to you, right? What we're able to do here today and how this happened. I want to tell you again how it started. Dr. Munim, when he was superintendent, was at a meeting that I attended as well, which is at Albright College. And credit goes to Myrna Fuchs, who is the leader for the Greater Reading Immigration Project. Myrna, you got that meeting together. You found Nancy, and Nancy was there at the meeting with her not then husband, but now husband. And that discussion just rocked me when I heard this young woman speak and talk about her desire to go back to Lowers Park, where she went to elementary school, and to be able to face the young children that are part of her community there. That desire was just in her. And it just made me think, we've got to do better. We've got to be able to make this happen. This community probably needs it more than any other in the Commonwealth. Truly, we do. And now, sometimes when I'm in the community, my office is out in Muhlenberg Township, and I'll drive past the elementary school, C.E. Cole, that Nancy is a kindergarten teacher at, and I see her walking outside with her students. I can barely catch my breath when I think about how far we have come. And she represents, certainly, as Jasmine does, the absolutely what we need to have happen in this community. This is why we did what we did, for sure. You know, this happened as my partner, Representative Cepeda-Freytiz, who's amazing, and I love working with her on so many things. This happened because of a change in a school code. Sometimes with the state budget, we pass sort of the operating manual to the budget, which are the codes. And this happened to be tucked into the school code. You are right, it would not have been there had it not been passed in the House. So that made a huge difference right there. And it was a surprise to both of us that it actually got in there. And thus, this conference today to talk about it. But I want you to know, too, as part of the background on this, I didn't just introduce a bill and then let it sit there. I went to meet with the majority Republican leaders of the Senate Education Committee, also the leaders of the party in the Senate itself. And they agreed, this is a great idea. This isn't controversial. Our schools could benefit from these folks' talents, and that if they had a valid status that allows them to work in the U.S., arbitrarily disallowing them from teaching just didn't make any sense. One lawmaker told me they agreed with all my points, but feared that their constituents would not understand what the bill does and why we need to do it, and they wouldn't support it as a result. They agreed it was good policy, but they feared that helping immigrants would provoke a political backlash. So rather than doing the right thing, or trying to be persuasive and explain the issue to people who need to understand this, they decided to do the easy thing, which was nothing. That kind of cynical politics and governing serves no one. It's almost a miracle that we're here today and talking about this, but it's inspiring me, and I hope all of you, that we can do more. We can do better. We will do better. And it's really a full circle moment to be here today with Dr. Muneen, now the Secretary of Education in Pennsylvania. And he was just as inspired at that meeting as I was. I know he was. He was like, I need teachers. Let's get this done. And to celebrate this accomplishment, because you've been part of this fight since day one, thank you. But there are a lot of other folks, and I'm going to reiterate who they are and all the work that they did. The Pennsylvania Immigration and Citizenship Coalition, Jasmine and Julio Rodriguez, thank you. You've been fighters for this for a long time. Laura Boyce from Teach Plus. We were on conference calls with Laura, and she connected me with other educators in other school districts. Despite the fact that I feel, this is the most important school district that needs this, there are others. The time we talked with teachers from the Norristown School District as well. Mamie Doyle Manella from Teach for America in Philadelphia. Kate Firestone from the Worry Center. Make the Road and CASA, thank you. You attended every rally in Harrisburg, not easy to do, and brought parents with you too. Thank you. Their voices were heard. And the Greater Reading Immigration Project, as I already mentioned. Myrna, you've been doing this work for a long time. You and your band of hardy volunteers. Thank you so much. This is what makes this stuff happen. It's not just us as legislators, for sure. And certainly, and most importantly, thank you to Nancy, Andrea, and all the teachers who are giving their all to our students. We truly appreciate it. This is where it begins, and the impacts, we don't necessarily know where they will end. And as was mentioned, now we've got to look at tuition equity. There's sort of an unwritten policy that, at least for our state education institutions like PASHE, students who are dreamers can attend on in-school tuition, depending upon who you talk to at that school. Let's get it in law. We need to do that. And also, these students couldn't take advantage of the scholarships, the FIA, the Pennsylvania Higher Education Agency scholarships. They weren't allowed to take part of them. The students sitting next to them in this school and every other one in Pennsylvania are able to take advantage of them. That needs to change as well. We need to reform the way that we fund higher education, our focus in higher education, and that work actually is beginning on a bipartisan basis, by the way, in Harrisburg. So we're going to continue that work. I know this has been a hot day and a long conference here, but I'm looking at your faces, and I want every one of you to know how much I appreciate what you did to make this happen. Thank you so much. It's hot. You can move. Thank you.